could probably fill it out and turn it in, but I don't have to.
I was just gonna take it all down tomorrow. I got Kobe's and Tim's, and I've already turned mine in.
Or you can scan and send it to
I
us,
haven't
but I
filled
do.
anything out yet.
Whatever you
It's
wanna
in
do.
that.
It doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order for our park board. Scott, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, everybody got their last 2 sets of minutes from their previous meetings. I think I sent those out
Yes.
sometime last week. We had a rain out here, so I had plenty of time on my hands. We'll get to rainouts in just a second. So, first of all, baseball and softball. We're scheduled to be done July the 4th. Well, some of our leagues will be done. Our intro to T-ball, our T-ball program, and our girls coach pitch will be done before July 4th. The others will be done after Fair Week. We're gonna skip Fair Week. We always skip Fair Week because kids are involved in that. And we'll pick it back up July 14th. Speaking of weather, we've had 9 rainout nights. And then last week we lost 5 because of heat. So 14 days of
No
should have been
games.
activity out there that we didn't have, but we were able to, what we did to make up games, instead of having 2 games a night, we were having 3 games a night, shortened time limits and stuff like that, and plenty of water. Now, last week, the heat we just didn't take any chances of that, so. But we do have games going on out there tonight. We've had rain the last 2 days. It's been crazy. We've gone through a lot of diamond dry and stuff like that, so we'll probably have to be purchasing some more of that. We had 5 fields yesterday playing on. We're playing R4 here, plus we're using the high school softball diamond to catch up on games. Tonight we just have 4. Tomorrow we'll have 5, and then, like I said, but we'll try to get as much done as we can, and then we'll pick it back up after Fair Week. So we'll have games the week of July 14th, probably the 14th, 15th, and 16th to finish up our tournaments. That's what we're shooting for. For the intermediate league that we reported, that's a 13 and 14-year-old division. We did not have enough for a softball team, so we refunded everybody that signed up for that. We only had 8 healthy bodies that actually signed up, so they got refunds. We have 2 intermediate baseball teams, and actually we have a couple new sponsors on board. Moose Lodge is sponsoring one of those, and VFW Post 1969. And they'll be playing their games either on field number 2 out here, which is our larger diamond, or they've actually been practicing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the high school baseball diamond. So we want to thank Dan Thurston for allowing us to use that facility. So we'll play in one of those 2 places. They'll play a schedule of 5 or 6 games, something like that, during the month of July. So we'll get them scheduled. But 2 new sponsors, Moose Lodge and VFW Post 1969. Also, our softball clinic was a great success. Tony Ralston and company on June 5th and 6th had about 30 gals out there. It was a wet day, just like everything's been this spring. But they worked through the drizzle and had 2 great days of workouts out there. Our soccer clinic, Nancy Totten and Paul DeLamrance, had about 15 or 20 kids involved in that, June 24th through 26th. It was very hot last week in the morning, but not as hot as it was in the evening, so we still held that in the morning. We are in the process of handing out our midsummer baseball and softball forms. We're trying to get those to the kids, in the kids' hands on their last night that they're here at the park. Parents have been asking about it already. The application deadline for our midsummer season is August 1st. That program runs August 4th through September the 12th. And no matter what the weather is, we're done September the 12th, no matter what. So we're doing that. Also, youth volleyball, we'll start signing up for them very shortly, and our fall soccer, we'll be getting ready to go with that with the Jefferson County Soccer Association. Any questions on the programs that are going on out there? Again, the weather has just been a bear. It's been
Crazy.
unbelievable. I want to thank, there was a couple of parents actually, I sent out a call yesterday to get some help, and we had 3 or 4 show up at the high school softball diamond yesterday to help spread diamond dry and rake it out with it so we could play. Because they're tired of rainouts too.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
I mean, I've got one parent that said, I just want to watch my kid play. And I'm thinking to myself, I want to watch them all play. So, anyway. All right, the reason we've got our snowman out here is to help promote our upcoming Christmas in July event, which is gonna be on July the 26th. It's a Saturday. We're gonna be both indoors and outdoors. The Christmas in July celebration is what we're calling it. It's gonna run from 10 till 7. Now, we've got different things going on throughout the day. Our craft fair will run from 10 till 4, and some will be inside, some will be outside. I think we have a bakery inside too. I think somebody's gonna kind of do a bakery. So from 10 to 4, we'll have our craft fair, and We've already got 5 confirmed forms turned in. I've got 5 other ones that said it's in the mail, you know how that is. And then we've got some other people that ask on a nightly basis about getting involved. Now, we have limited space inside, obviously, so the rest of them will be outside. We also have Santa on board, Santa and Mrs. Claus. We booked their flights in from the North Pole already. They'll be here from 11 till 3. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna offer pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus, kind of a more summery theme with a Christmas tree and everything, but Santa was gonna be in his summer garb instead of his full regalia. And we wanna thank Bearded Dumpster Rental. They're sponsoring Santa and Mrs. Claus's appearance, so we're good on that. Also, as part of our Christmas in July celebration, we're going to have a kids zone. We're gonna set it up out in field number 3 in the outfield. We've got bouncy houses coming. We've got a 9 square and some other things we're gonna include out there. And this is gonna be a fundraiser, so we're gonna have somebody kind of manning the gate, probably $5 a kid to bounce and jump around all day. One will be a water slide and 2 other ones out there too, so that'll be a good time. Again, the craft fair from 10 to 4, Santa from 11 to 3, and we'll have music also. I've talked to Tim Chandler and Adam Bullock from Falls Cities Church, who just occupied Hanover Baptist, and they're gonna get us together a list of 5 performers. So we're gonna have it's our gift to the community is what we're calling our music. It's gonna start at noon, and every hour and a half we'll have a different act on stage. They're working on getting a stage, because we're gonna do everything back here by the big shelter house, because it's way shadier and a lot
Right.
closer than everything else.
Right.
Closer to restrooms and everything, people can come from the craft fair and go back there too. So we've got that on board. And then also, we've got already Rubik's, Nana's, and Kona Ice coming as part of our food court. I've got a couple other feelers out there. We don't wanna get too many, but we also wanna have enough for everybody to come out and spend their time. Also, the plan is to have our intermediate baseball teams play a doubleheader on field number 2, so they won't be hitting into us over here. So there'll be plenty of activities going on at the park. We're also looking for sponsors to offset the cost. Like I said, Santa's already taken care of, the music, and also for our bouncy houses. And Steinhardt Enterprises, Steinhardt Heating and Air Conditioning, and Servpro has already sent their check in. I've got 4 or 5 others that said they'll be on board. We just don't have the money in yet. So we hopefully won't have to get into our festival dollars that we do have.
Good.
But if we need to get into those, we can use some of those. But it should be a great event. Looking forward to it. As long as it's not raining and 1,000 degrees outside, we should have a great time, so our snowman doesn't melt. We don't want our snowman to melt. So, anybody have any questions on that? We're just a fundraiser for the park, a family fun day, and it's coming together nicely. The park committee has been involved kind of behind the scenes. They're looking for sponsors, and probably we'll do some volunteering during that event too, so we don't have to spend some extra dollars to try to make some funds for the park. We
So
might pass a hat and stuff like that too.
Are you having food?
Yeah,
for-
yeah,
They buy,
Rubik's and Nana's and Kona Ice will be out there. They're
Okay.
food trucks. Yeah.
then in a couple of months, we'll do our party in the
Yeah,
park.
Party in the Park, it comes up after that.
When it cools.
Yeah.
It should be a great event back there, and we're trying to figure out where we're gonna put the stage and get all that figured out.
Right.
It's gonna be right back there, easy parking in that parking lot to
Sure.
get people up there too,
Sure.
so it's gonna
Sure.
be really good, I think, for the inaugural, I'm calling it the inaugural Christmas in July event. We'll see what happens with it. Hanover Hackers, we're still looking for a weekend to get that rescheduled, our golf scramble. They're filling up over there at the golf course, and it's almost time to get back into school, but hopefully, if we don't get something planned during the summer, we can have an early fall event over there, a fundraiser to help, with our funding of golf-related items. Party in the Park, September 13th, still on the docket, Spooktacular the 18th, and then we'll start working pretty soon on our Christmas, event too. Going back to our sponsors for our Christmas in July, we're calling them Christmas in July Angels, just something like we did during our Christmas event out there. Just a couple other things. If you wanna see a form, I do have a craft form and also have a Christmas angel form, if anybody's interested in getting those, for the vendor and for those two, if anybody's interested in sponsoring. I can drop those off.
I'll take one of those.
Okay, you want?
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, a couple other things I wanna pass along. We've been working on a wish list. Debbie said, come up with a wish list of things, and ironically, I guess not ironically, but when I started back in November of 2020, I kinda created a wish list back then, that I presented to the park board and council in 21. And it's kinda cool, most of the things on the wish list have been taken care of. Couple of things, batting cages, still not here, but that's still on our wish list. Batter's eyes, which kind of, they go on the outfield fence, kind of help the batter see the ball a little bit better. It's like a screen. But most of the other things, portable mounds, new bases, pitching rubbers, outfield fence on field 2, we've done that twice. Painting fences and the backstop on field 2, actually we redid all those buildings. Field mix and conditioner, PA systems on all fields now. New dugouts, which we've got new dugouts on field 1 and we're refurbishing the other ones. Everything's gonna look the same out there. Trap rake and lights on all 3 fields. And I hope to get that done by 2022, but you know, 2024 is okay. Also, I prioritized some things at all the other parks besides this community park. My first priority, it says here at every park, was always safety, keep safety in mind. Here at Hanover Park, improve the entrance, more visibility. Trails, we improved the trails. Shelter house and signage on the shelter houses. I don't know if they've ever been sponsored or named after anybody. We need to do some investigating on that. If they have been named after somebody, we need to get something up to designate Debbie Kroger Shelter House or Tree
So I know
Shelter.
one of the shelter houses, the smaller one down here, was dedicated to Ralph Seifert.
Okay, I think that's right.
There
We
used
just
to
don't-
be-
There's no signage down there.
There used to be a sign there.
There used to be a sign that said,
Okay,
in memory of Ralph Seifert,
Yeah.
Yeah,
cause he, you know, he was our clerk
Yeah,
treasurer.
Right.
and then Margaret was his wife, right?
Yes.
Right.
He used to play the.
And well, and Margaret, she's a sewer plant.
Yeah.
That's where her name
Oh,
is. Cause she worked hard on getting that.
and she's got a big.
She's got a big plaque.
A couple other things I had on the list was, well, tennis courts, repair cracks and lights, we did better than that, that was part of the DNR. Parking lot lights, community building, I always thought it'd be nice if we had an awning out front, so you don't get out of your car and get poured down rain on before you get in, so maybe we could address that up front. Brick fundraiser, Rainbow Park, correct the backboard and basketball situation over there, cause when I went and looked, they had a board up, but there was no rim on it, it was back in the back corner, nobody had played on it forever. And then playground equipment upgrade, which we did with the renovation at Rainbow Park. And then Fireman's Park, address issues with the basketball court, which we've done. And also playground equipment upgrade, which I think is in part of the process, so. But I thought that was kinda cool to look back to see how many things we actually accomplished. a
Already
lot.
checked off, yeah.
But some other things that I put on our list, we gotta replace the backstop on field 3, that is a priority after our season's over with. Try to go up a little higher and get that levered fence in to protect our neighbors. We have a brand new neighbor over here in this new house, the house that just sold over there too. Bench area, for field number 4, our Field of Dreams, figure out some kind of dugout area for them. Bleachers upgrade, a score area for field number 3, right now we still carrying a canopy out there and a table. If we can figure out a way to build something right there, that'd be great. New handles on the buildings on 1 and 2, which I think is gonna be taken care of in the next couple of weeks. More signage at the park, letting people know what fields are at and stuff like that. We need a field dirt, there's a lot of places where field dirt's required. Access to the playgrounds, we just have to get little cut-ins. We gotta plant some trees. And also the water fountains. We've got 2 water fountains that haven't been turned on since, I think COVID probably shut them down.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the thoughts are to get those back up and running or not, especially on the hot days. Cause there's a lot of people using the park and it might be nice that, there's one back here and I think one by this
Yeah,
playground too.
yeah.
So that might be something that we look at. We do have our water spigots out here, which some kids occasionally go and get a
Sure.
drink out of that, so, they've been using that, so. That's just some things that I've thrown out, I mean, that's not everything by any means, but things that we can address and try to work.
That
on.
list that, when we walked through the other day for the DNR, do you know if they've started on any of that?
Yep, and it's actually, the fencing is going up.
Okay,
They're putting fencing across where the trail, where it crosses the ditch back here. And in
Okay.
fact, what they're doing is there and behind building number 3, and wherever there's a ditch, they're putting
Right.
fencing up. And it's gonna be fencing matching everything else that we have out there.
okay.
They went to Lowe's
Yeah,
and got the same fencing.
Like the chain link?
that's With the,
chain link.
Yeah,
chain link on
Yeah.
field number 1.
Instead of putting wood posts up now, so they're gonna change this back here,
right.
right by Charlie's barn to chain link fence too.
Have they
Just to
done,
keep people
have they
out.
done anything with the big hole,
No.
with the board
No,
across it? Not
not
yet?
yet.
Okay,
I think that's planned for maybe
I think it's
next
just
week.
been raining too much.
Too
Oh my
much,
God,
okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah,
And I wanna make sure they get that rock, those 2 rocks on that bridge.
it's already taken care of, Scotty already did it.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I envision, cause they're right at the end.
Yep,
And I envision, you know how kids like to walk across the top and they get to that, and if those rocks go loose, I mean, that's a pretty,
I think that was taken care of the very next day.
Okay,
After
good,
we did the
good.
walkthrough.
They did a lot of it.
They
Went,
did,
got to,
yeah.
went to
Okay.
Lowe's and got all the fencing.
They do
and-
have the fence up now back here where you cross back by Auctioneer's property.
Yeah.
And then they're working on, the other posts are in the ground, they just don't have the fence up yet.
okay, perfect.
Just a couple other things. Again, the park committee, they've been awesome. We haven't met officially, but we're meeting via text, and I'm keeping them informed of everything going on. Also, just to let you know, I have purchased 2 tables for the community building. The tables are showing a little wear and tear out there, so I just purchased 2 to see if they're gonna be what we want. I think they're lifetime, they're 8-footers and stuff like that, so I think they're $140 a piece.
Very heavy.
They're heavy.
Oh, okay.
They're very heavy. So that's why I didn't wanna get 5 or 6 of them. But we do have money from donations from our bridge group that plays every Tuesday. They give $12 every Tuesday, and they've been doing it for over a year, so we've got money that we can use out of donations to pay for tables or whatever we need to do, so, taking care of that. Also, next week, the park office is gonna be closed. I'm gonna take a little respite from what's going
Vacation?
on here, yeah. So I'll be gone next week, but we'll post it here, and town hall's already been made aware of it, Kim and Linda, so
Okay.
I'll direct everybody over there.
Is the building rented out any that week that we
No,
need to
I
address?
just double checked that.
Okay.
We do have somebody here this Friday and Saturday, but next week, nobody's scheduled, so.
Okay,
And just one other thing, the golf cart.
did you find one?
I do. I just have to have approval to purchase it. It's a 2013 Yamaha, gas powered with lights and windshield in the back seat. Perfect for what we're looking for. And the asking price was $4,500, but the individual said he'd like to donate a little bit back to the park, helping the kids that can't afford to pay and play. So, he offered it up for $3,700. And it looked great. I've lost out on 2 other ones, but the last guy that I didn't get the golf cart from, he recommended this guy, so.
Okay.
So
Can I have that?
Did you drive it?
I did not drive.
Okay.
So
Billy
what,
Eccles has it,
so what about the
Oh.
motor
We
that,
haven't,
went bad on?
On the trap rake,
Yeah, we got $15,000 in equipment, so it'll pay for the trap rake. Scott ordered the motor today for it. Got it for $1,600. And Dicus is gonna put in, Hanover Implement, a lot cheaper than,
yeah.
and
Where he
it
was
was leaking
going.
oil really bad.
yep.
So
But we
that-
got, but we're going back, we got 15,000 in equipment, and it would take care of the golf cart
Well, and
and
we-
the trap rake.
Or we can take it out of donations.
Or we can take it out of
from our-
We had
Donations.
it, I mean, we
Either
had
or.
the $6,000 from
Yeah.
the one thing, and that was for a golf cart.
Yeah, I mean, we was just looking, we could take it down to either or.
Okay,
Don't
Yeah.
you think you should drive it first? I
Yeah,
mean-
but if you wait, they're gone in
Yeah.
a split
Well, I
mean,
second.
Bill,
I'm gonna mow 2 yards downtown tomorrow. I'll stop
Yeah,
by
you
Bill.
drive
I'll
it.
stop.
We can't
Oh, I know
buy
Billy,
something
yeah,
and not drive
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
He sent pictures.
I mean, I've
I'll
seen
call
it.
Well, pictures are great.
I mean, I've seen it, he.
A lot of
hands out
things
to
look
the
better
dog,
than they are.
so.
That's right.
So what if
But-
we approve it with
On the contingency
that he looks at it and it's okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll drive
Okay.
it tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'll call him after the meeting
And
and,
how much
Okay.
was it?
37. He wanted 45 and he knocked
Yeah.
700 off of it.
And we had talked about spending up to 6,000 for some
Well,
of the
I've
other.
got a friend that just paid 6,000
Yeah.
for one older
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, this is a good
Yeah.
price.
Yeah, I think so too. And the
It-
one I had lined up before, he priced it way too low and it was gone.
Yeah.
I was like second in line, so.
So the next thing you need to do is there needs to be a PM on these machines, where a guy, before ever starts the day, they check the oil in the machine before we start the day.
So we don't end up like we
You
were.
don't end up $1,600. I mean, it's
Well,
just a
we have
good,
had that trap rake since it's 5 years old. Not saying that it should,
Yeah.
the end motors
Yeah.
are out, but it has been leaking oil quite a bit. And I think there's a light that comes on, but I'm not positive. There's a
Right.
light that comes on the dash, and most of the time it's me operating, so.
so I think that needs to happen. A PM on that stuff is really good. Everybody does that.
Yeah. Scott says he does that with all his equipment over there.
You know, and
Checks oil.
it works.
Okay.
It still may blow up. but it ain't
Well,
gonna-
that's true.
It ain't gonna be because
least
it's
you
low on
tried.
oil.
Yeah, but at least you
look,
can say,
got
"I checked
paperwork
that oil."
said. And the gator, and we've temporarily using the gator with it, we have a drag that we're able to put on the back of that to drag the fields. We hadn't drug them for, of course, we didn't do anything last week, but I was able to drag them a little bit today just to kind of smooth things out. We got a lot of material on there that need to be spread
Yeah.
out, but yeah.
So do we have enough to give to, Alan on the Veterans Garden? Do we have enough information now to give him?
I think so. I just didn't, we didn't get a final pricing on what a plaque was gonna cost because I didn't know what was gonna go on there and how much that was gonna be.
Yeah, and I think he had some ideas on
Yeah.
plaques and
Oh,
stuff
yeah,
too,
yeah.
so, yeah.
And I think they're you know, like the last meeting
Yeah.
was at, they're
And
ready to go. They're just,
I think we were just waiting on Scott to come back with an amount on the concrete, right?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, so if you can get with him and then just reach out to Alan and say,
Okay.
and show him the designs that we have,
Okay, absolutely.
okay,
Yeah, I thought they were good. And that'd be a good location over
yeah,
Fireman's Park or whatever it's, if
Yeah,
it's gonna
whatever.
stay that or what
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
called, so.
yep, okay.
And I think the new light pole, did it go up by the basketball court? I think
Yeah.
it's in.
Yeah, it's in. They just gotta adjust it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And we don't have the new lights up yet on our, we're waiting for the end of our season before we have to get a crane out here or whatever.
Well, I think what they were gonna do is, yeah, do that and that,
same time.
adjust them all together since it'll be here, yeah.
All in all, everything's gone well out here, I mean, at the park, and we just always err on the side of caution, it's not about the kids, it's not about the parents, but, you know, the grandparents that show up, it's about everybody. And if
Yeah.
one person gets sick, it's one too many, so.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we have had so many postponements.
I was in the superintendent's office in Southwestern yesterday, and it said that's all the kids talk about. It's coming over to this park or coming to play ball.
Yeah. That's a good thing, that's a good
Very
thing.
good.
And last year for our midsummer season, we had 180, and we had people asking for applications, you know,
Right.
weeks ago, so those are starting to go out now, so we'll see how many we get signed up for that, so.
Oh, yeah, they still wanna play ball.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
And during the Christmas in July event, we're gonna have signups for midsummer and for soccer and for volleyball. We'll have a canopy out there for them.
Yeah.
Sign up for things that we're doing here. If they have
Sure.
questions about the park, we can answer about the
Sure.
park too. So. Get more people over here to enjoy what we've got.
yeah.
That's for
All
sure.
right, does anybody have any questions for Scott or anything?
And I'll keep you updated on our sponsors and stuff
Okay.
like that that come in for our Christmas in July event. And if I get another food truck or something like that, I'll let you guys know too. So,
Okay, thank you.
absolutely.
All right, anybody,
I'll make
nothing
a
else?
motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I'll get one of those sheets from Scott.
It's just,
Yeah.
you know, it ain't gonna solve everything, but it'll help you. I mean,
Maybe
now
a
you,
hand sound. The camera's right up there.
The camera's up there.
From our iPad.
No, above it on the wall.
Look on the wall.